All right, tis the season, folks. We are doing the scariest conversation in all of social science, which is actually funnily just like a normal conversation that you would have. And we're talking about society and civilization. And this is weird because you might think, well, I hear someone like, well, all of human civilization or whatever it is, or someone talking about American society, and it's like, okay, I know what that is. And it's actually like 10 times more complicated or convoluted, or you just need to know a lot in order to understand what someone's talking about. So here's like a starting point. So a society is very basically, you can define it as a set of sort of cultures and norms. And you might say like with this guy again, Alexis de Tocqueville, Democracy in America, big thick book. Of the 700 pages, only about 100 of those, 25 of those pages actually really matter. And so, when we think of norms and culture, we might say, well, what are like the daily practices people participate in? Why do they do those? Why do they say that they do those? Who else is doing things around those sort of same things? Are you doing the things with the things? And so this is basically what a society is. And then civilization, you can just say, well, it's basically the collection of societies. It includes like the histories, and it includes sort of collective intellectual pursuits and technology and stuff. But you're already sort of flying away, right? Do you kind of do you kind of see why that's actually like disjointed? Here's where social scientists and people from different academic disciplines actually argue quite a bit about this stuff. And when we talk about things like the politics we see from Donald Trump on, absolutely sort of unhinged stations like Fox, and it's like I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to do, and I can see they're trying, but they're not really doing it because it's Fox. It gets weird because I wouldn't be wrong to say something like, I wouldn't be incorrect to say something like, well, I want to talk about Roman society, or I want to talk about Roman civilization. And people like Fareed Zakaria, who used to be on CNN all the time, I think he still is, but he's still around. But he learned from a guy at Harvard who talked about how, well, a civilization isn't even like all of human history, but we're living with, there's an Arab civilization now, there's an Islamic civilization, there's a Western civilization, there's an Asian civilization. It's not just Chinese, it's whatever. Yeah, and you can even add history, right? Maybe it's the case that there's a Middle Ages civilization. Is that weird?